has been some changes since the last time after she left in the buildings, and it looks very nice. Last fall, the school district requested a financial analysis. And so Mr. Robert Foss and I, Mr. Foss is also a consultant with the Department of Education, completed a financial analysis and completed that around the first part of November, using a 4-year history and a 2-year projection. Now, the 4-year history, I'm not going to spend much time with the 4-year history. And if you want a copy of the report, talk to Matt or Jessica here to get a copy of the report. There'll probably be some available after the meeting, or my understanding is that the school district's going to put it on the website. And so therefore, we'll continue on. The 4-year history starts with fiscal year 07, 08, 09, 10, 4-year history, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the only thing I'm going to point out here in the 4 years in the operation of the school district, can everybody hear me all right?
Mrs. Brown's going to turn it up a little bit.
She's going to turn it up, okay. And let me point out, the reason I'm talking at a table is the fact my doctor would not let me come down and give this report unless I could not stand. And my wife is here. She drove me down. So she's going to make sure that I follow the orders of the doctor. And so therefore, he said you would have to present the report at a table. And so that's the reason why I'm sitting here. I'd rather be standing, facing the crowd, but in this case I cannot do that. And dealing with the 4 years, the only thing I'm going to point out is that the school district spent more than they took in the 4 years. That includes the revenues, and the expenditures exceed the revenues during that 4-year period. That raises a red flag a little bit what is going to occur maybe perhaps in the future. And so therefore, I just want to caution in that particular situation. I realize that probably that since you have the new buildings, you have probably increased in utility costs and those type of things. But I want to point out that's what has been occurring. I'm going to start with this particular fiscal year, which is fiscal year 11. The school district operates, their fiscal year is from July 1 to June 30th. And so therefore, starting last July and continue on to this June 30th will be my projections, and then fiscal year 12. Starting with the real estate taxes, which the general property tax, our projection was taken from the county auditor certificate of estimated resources. And basically we don't go off the county auditor. What he states that you're going to receive, we basically go along with that. And so I want to point out that you are going to receive $4,101,581. And then you have the tangible personal property tax, which is the tangible personal property tax on basically the public utility. It used to be tangible personal property tax on business and also for machinery, equipment, that type. That now has expired. And then we come to the state foundation program, which we have picked up on that one, and that I have footnoted on the report. Fiscal year 11 is based on the ODE statement of settlement, October payment number 10/15/10, and that's what the foundation report is based upon. And what's going to happen in the future, I don't have that crystal ball. your guess is as good as mine. Is that correct, Mr. Harden?
Absolutely.
Okay, now you've heard it from the top. The next is restricted grants and aid, and that's basically your career tech program. That's $26,788. And then you have the stimulus program, which will, part of that will expire this year because you'll have the Ed Jobs Fund for next year, but that's $278,852. And then the property tax allocation, which is your homestead and rollback, and also reimbursement that you may be receiving on some tangible personal property tax. You don't have that much business or industry in the school district. So therefore, I don't figure that you're probably receiving any large sum. Is that correct, Jesse? Okay. And therefore, then, other operating revenue that we would have would be open enrollment, rentals, tuition, fees, and then investments. And of course, investments, you're not making much percentage off of that, the way that rate of interest is right now. So therefore, along with your transfers and advances, your total revenue for this year would be $9,931,183. Going on to expenditures, the first, of course, would be salaries and wages, and we calculated it to be $5,123,866. That is down from the previous year, the salaries. And then for fringe benefits, it'd be $1,938,308. And the total of those two together is $7,062,173. That represents 71.54% of your operational revenues. Now that's dealing just revenues. That's not budget. That's revenues. Purchase services is your utilities, contracts, so forth. That is $2,847,719. And then we have materials and supplies, textbooks, $377,407. And then all other objects is the $800, and that's basically your auditor's fees. That's also if your county office, the ESC portion of that. That total is $10,486,341. Taking the transfers out and the advances out, we have a total of $10,545,341. Your deficit, or you're spending more than you're taking in, for this year, $614,158. I just want to point out that you're spending more than you're taking in. And therefore, you're going to have a probable balance, and we project that you would have an $867,082 as your balance. Now that's not very much balance for this district, this size, and meeting payroll in July. Remember, the school district has not received all their taxes. And so therefore, they should be carrying at least a month operating balance to cover the two payrolls they have. Some of the school districts this year